Now, I am by no means a Datsun fanatic. I did pick up Siege Prowl and was just so incredibly underwhelmed that I didn't pick up any of the other iterations of the Siege tooling of this mold. Man, his actual face looks so much happier than he does in the box. Even just looking at the box, and from some of the stuff I've seen online, I feel like they may have retooled and fixed a lot of the things that were my primary issues with this mold in the first place. So hopefully I can become a Datsun convert with Smokescreen. Holy smackerel. The best thing I can think to describe how, like, the sensation of getting him straight out of the packet is after fiddling around with him for, I don't know, what, 15 seconds now, I am almost overwhelmed and overcome by the urge to go and consume some G1 cartoon. This is what this kind of fan service and throwback is all about, really. And, like, is the Datsun design, like, you know, hood, chest, arms out, back of the car, the feet, just the quintessential kind of car transformer layout? Like, I think when anyone sort of pictures a transformer, if they're not picturing Optimus Prime or Soundwave, they're probably picturing one of the Datsuns. I'm not entirely sure how to describe it. It feels like, you know, the G1 design philosophy and aesthetic come full circle, full evolution to its intended form.
That's high praise.
The hooded head a lot of the time comes off a little bit goofy, but it's quite cool here. And like the tiny paint apps of having his eyes green, it's nice. He feels so much more in proportion than what Prowl did. It'd be good if you could get a little bit of a twist on these wings, but you know, you can't have it all. I feel like this extension here is more or less just part of transformation, but it's like, because, you know, it does tab in, but you sort of, I honestly don't mind that it doesn't fully tab in, because it, oh snap. Maybe I do mind that it doesn't tab in. I mean, come on, he can go full Breakfast Club. Don't you forget about me. Careful. Ooh, yeah. These legs are so much better proportion, or maybe it's just the paint job, but it's got the same transformation pattern but different pieces. It does allow for some really deep knees, which was one of the few good things, I guess, about that Prowl mold. What I like the mostest is this cool little piece here that they put in just to fill out that cavity a little bit. It's not perfect, but it does, like, you know, you get full clearance. And it's just a nice little thing. It shows that people listen, people at Hasbro are taking notice. People don't like cavities, right? Where when it comes to Transformers fans, we're pretty much like dentists, right? Like, we don't want to see any cavities. What's also nice about this figure is we get a pretty good range of accessories for him. I have noticed lately that some of the deluxe releases are real sparse when it comes to accessories. I guess their parts count must be higher as a figure or something like that. But I don't know. Like, Smokescreen comes with a veritable bevy, a plethora of accessories. So he's got, you know, his blaster in matching blue, because he seems like that kind of guy. I reckon he's got a little bit of like a matching tracksuit vibe going on. Like he's right into his garage and grime or something like that. Or like, you know, like a matching tracksuit with like a varsity kind of vibe. Like he's like, shoo, I'm gonna smoke you. New PB coming up. Shoo. Up top here, he has these slots to put in his cool little shoulder blasters. It just arms him up so much more. Yeah! That's like cartoony, toy-y awesomeness. I probably would have preferred, and I don't really understand why they don't just cast all the guns in grey or silver. It'd just make so much more sense to me. Then they can go with other people more awesomely. But you know, that's a small quibble. The other cool thing about his accessory loadout is you can, if you're not wanting to use his gun, it has got a little tibbity tab there. So So he can put it on his back and be all cool and have like a gun on his back. Like a cool guy. Or maybe down low. No. You can also, if you take them all off, get them together and stick them on to his regular gun to have a 3 guns in 1. Is this an upgrade or is this just a sideways shift? You be the judge. Enough gushing and nostalgia tripping, and let's go ahead and get a look at a couple of comparisons, shall we? So first up, just to highlight how good this mold really is, let's get him in with Siege Prowl. Prowl looked quite good across his chest and shoulders, and it was a really good head sculpt, but man, when you put him back a bit, it honestly looks like he's never ever even heard of leg day. Like he has spent much too much time behind a desk pushing too many pencils. Why don't we go ahead and get him in there with some other OG fan favorites, shall we? So we got Optimus Prime doing his Prime Guy thing, Hoist, Wheeljack, Bumblebee. How much does he look right at home just in that setup? He's very tidy. He's going to look great in any kind of collection or display or diorama you want to chuck together. I had been searching through some of my tubs of various like runs and collections and series and things, trying to find some other smoke screens, because I find it fun to compare different iterations of the same figure. Now, like I said, not being a big Datsun like brothers guy as a collector, I couldn't actually find any. I thought it was a lost cause until I remembered way back. I think this might have come from my stepdad. I believe Jimbo Jones himself found this buried in his garden somewhere. Yeah, I think that's where this one came from. Or it came from my uni friend Michelle's boyfriend Pete. Pew. And I think he might have found it. Whoever found it, I know that they dug it up in a garden, and that's how he came to be in my care. Man, seeing them together really ties back into what I was saying before about this smokescreen figure feeling like the ultimate culmination of everything this figure used to be in your imagination. Alrighty, let's get into that transformation, shall we? First thing you want to do, legs on backwards. Then you want to go in those little, fill out the gap panels. You want to fold them back up to reveal the gaps. Then you're going to go ahead and do what you might have seen coming. Give them the old clip cloy together. We're then going to come back around to the front up top, flip those arms up so that unpegs that chest section from under there, and just horribly flay him. Push that panel up to fill out the hood. You want to get him around like this and make sure you've got his arms done right. Now we want to go ahead and fold those and basically take advantage of all that space he's got going on. I find this next part a bit freaky deaky because it feels odd, but you kind of just want to push that up and past so that then it sits flush against those cavities there. But no doubt about it, it does feel bizarre. Then those heel spurs, you can go ahead and push them down. They'll fill into that space there, blocking that out. Right, you want to make sure with the arms that the shoulders are wheels down with the 5mm port facing out on both sides. So just twist that one around. Then you can fold them up. It kind of like logic dictates, you know where the wheels need to end up, so you kind of know where to put them. Then you just fold these arms down so they sit inside that space provided for them. Holy smackerel, what was that? That was like haunted. And then it's just a matter of closing the doors, which as a final like stage of the transformation, closing the doors to finish it off, satisfying and classy move. And that's it, finished. Look how sleek it is. Oh, huge fan. It's not a huge deal that there's no paint apps there, but it would have been nice just to finish it off. Given the overall quality of it and how intricate and detailed it already is, you forgive it, but then at the same time, it would have just kicked it up to a whole new level to have those silver and, maybe some silver accents inside the wheels. But, we got those cool numbered graphics and the racing stripes and everything. It screams classic cool. I feel like Elvis should be driving it. Come on now, Autobots, we gotta win this race. Smokescreen. But wait, there's more. If this vehicle wasn't sleek enough as it is, you can take all of the weapons and fully weapon him up like we've seen in, you know, fiction. I'm so sure he does this in the cartoon. I think that's why it's a thing that he can do now. Maybe it's just convenience. Either way, that's a well-armored, like, car mode. Run away! He's got guns! He's got guns! Pew 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 pew! You idiots! We've all got guns! Get him! For a vehicle mode comparison, here he is with Earthrise Cliff Jumper. Smoked him. Here he is alongside Wheeljack. And here he is next to Hoist. Look, the scale might not quite be perfect, but it's pretty goddamn close.